Hey, you party animals. Okay, so now that we're done with the wiring upstairs, we're back down into the living room again. So what we did is this was the only room when we moved in that actually had outlets already. They were not grounded, so we ended up rerunning the wire. The problem is the wire was run, we ran the wire surface mounted down there, and you can't do that when you're running new wire. You have to run through the joists, like in the basement, for example. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same method we've done everywhere else. We pulled all the trim off, and we are going to cut up and make a space that we can access those joists, and we're going to run it all the way around. The reason we're not going to run it from the basement is because these exterior walls are all sitting, about 1.5 feet back on top of the foundation. We can't get to it. So we have removed all of the trim, and we are going to start tomorrow by cutting these up, 4 inches or 3 inches up like we have everywhere else. And we have, I don't know if I've talked about this, but I have all of this 1x11 maple that I found at our local restore. It's finished on one side, but it's never been used. So this stuff is actually edge glued. So it's not just one big piece. Sometimes, in some pieces it's 2, sometimes it's 3 pieces that are edge glued together to make one big piece. So what I'm gonna do is I've got a cabinet guy who's gonna run these through his sander. He's gonna take that finish off, and then he's gonna cut them down to the height that I want, which is probably gonna be matching this height. And then we'll try to match that stain as best we can. But let me show you in the basement what I mean, what our issue is. And we realize in retrospect that we didn't do a very good job with this, which is part of why we're redoing it, and also part of it is because we have to. So, for example, when you look at these wires, most of those wires, except for the yellow one, are existing. And as the electrical inspector says, the existing wires are fine, but you're gonna have to, anything new, like this yellow one, and she knows it's new because it has date printed on it, you're gonna have to run through the joists. So we're gonna have to rerun all those. And when you get to the living room, like that first outlet is hiding way back in there, and you can see how we surface mounted this. But even these, when we go from one outlet to the next, I mean, it's just like, that's no good. You can't have the wire hanging down in front of the window like that. And even those are neatly surface mounted, but still they're in front of the window. So it makes way more sense to actually redo it from above. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take care of that. And that's really probably the next, 2 or 3 weeks of work. So we'll get started on that and keep you updated on it.